Good morning, everyone, and Merry Christmas. Today we're going to take a look at CCP, and we're going to take a look at an order book setup. And I'll dive right into it. Ultimately, we've got a couple of minutes to match the opening price. We have a match price of 2976 with some surplus volume. The important thing here is to look at the book. Now, 2976, you can see at almost every line there is some liquidity. It might not be much. We've got a bit at 2984, a nice 1600 wall. Now, the interesting thing here on the match is if you look on the bid, anything below 2976, which is currently the match, you've got 2975 for 100 shares, which is nothing, and then a 50 pip gap, and then a 20 pip gap, and then a 10 pip gap. Now, I will be talking to some people. I've got the audio muted basically, so you can't hear people on Discord and any other background noises. So if you hear me talking, it's not to myself. So we're going to take a short position, and then we're going to have a really tight stop loss. And people are asking how I execute the trades in the morning. Basically, I just have multiple tickets open. That's it. There's no secret to it. There's no trick to it. Just have multiple tabs open, pre-filled data in terms of volume, and that's it. I currently got my amend ticket open, so in case the price suddenly starts tanking on the match price for CCP, because the earliest opening time for CCP is exactly 10:02, and there's a 30-second window after that where it can open. You'll see a lot of fake orders possibly get pulled at exactly 10:02 or 10:01.59. So if the match price drops, then I can just adjust the price with it real quick at the click of a button, basically. And this is the earliest time that it's open, like right now. So it dropped down a couple of ticks. And you can see, you'd rather be a seller right now at 2968. And look at that, just 30 pips in profit straight away. We can close out. Obviously not all 600 shares at once. We can close out to about 2945, I think. The CCP short looks good for now. And you can see we also had a wall on the ask, on the offer, or a few pips later at 29.74. So there was liquidity for us to get out if this position went against us. So very little risk, very good reward. And I think it's very clear how good the reward is for just simply a couple of pips risk. That was $6 a pip, sorry, $6 a tick, and we were risking, let's say, 4 ticks at the absolute worst if we were slow. So $24 risk, currently $264 reward. And what we're going to see, I guess, because it's Christmas time, the liquidity is going to be low. I think the volatility will remain relatively the same. It's just the liquidity will be heavily reduced. And trading without liquidity is usually a pretty terrible thing. And now we have a nice wall at 29.30. I think if we see a couple of thousand get taken out there, I could just close the position. If I'm quick enough. Or if it, if it all gets hit at once, then that's just unfortunate. But at this point in time, there's no indication to close out the short and just let it run at this point. So you might be wondering, well, if the chart setup or the book setup was so good, why not chuck in 1,200 shares, 1,500 shares, basically increase the size? Basically for the same reason I just mentioned before, is you don't know what the liquidity is going to be like. It is holiday period, basically, so as nice as it would be to make $700 instead of $300 right now, that liquidity is just not there in the holiday period. So take what I can get, consider it a Christmas present. And basically I'm just looking for signs of reversal at the moment. There really isn't any. So I'll just let this position roll and keep rolling, and until the tape tells me otherwise, unless big volumes come in at 29 and kick the reversal off. But we have plenty of liquidity now for our 600 shares at least, so it's looking really good. I'm just going to let this position run. I don't think there's much else. It's going to be a bit of a slow day today. I mean, this could run for 40 minutes. It could run for maybe the next 2 minutes. It's hard to tell. But I'm just going to let this one go. And the moment I see volumes kick in the bid, stack the bid, and offer getting lifted on high volumes, then that'll be my signal to exit. Until then, this could possibly be a grand or two profit. You never know. We got obviously targets here for horizontals. And I mean, at this point, $28 looks like a potential target. So that's it. I'm not going to play the whole tape. I'll just let it run and do its thing. And I just hope that visual, or rather that explanation of the book, is going to be helpful for your trading, because the risk to reward here, I think, is brain dead obvious. All you got to do is just shop for the stocks in play and just kind of ride those stocks that you can find. Alright guys, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.